Hi, welcome to the class. Today we will be doing some gentle and therapeutic work on the spine to release any tension or stiffness that we may have accumulated. This class is designed to counter long hours of sitting at a desk, and while it is suitable for beginners, please do work within capacity and remember you should never be in any kind of pain during the practice. So welcome to the class and let's get started. Begin in Vajrasana and take your right hand up as you inhale and drop your left ear to shoulder as you exhale. Do it one more time. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale, rise up. Exhale and hold this posture here for a few breaths to release any stiffness in the neck. Let's do the other side. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale for 3 and exhale. Hold it here again for a few moments. For the next posture, we will start working on activating the wrist joint. So interlock your fingers and make these figure 8 or infinity circles in any one direction. Do this about 8 to 9 times. And now we will switch side. Just reverse the circles. Continue a few more times, just exploring the range of motion that is accessible today. And then release the wrists and shake them out. Move into a tabletop position on either side. Now prepare to rock back and forth over the wrists, making sure that you're not in pain every time you go forward. This should be gentle and mindful. Do this for about 5 times. For the next one, flip your palms out to the side and rock side to side. Do this for 5 times. Try to explore a deeper range of motion every time you come back to this position. For the next one, flip your palms back so your fingertips point towards your knees and try to sit back on your heels. You can even lift the base of your palm off the mat as you try to go back. Work within your capacity. We are just trying to warm up the wrists so we can prepare ourselves for the next set of postures. Last one here. Go back, roll forward, and then face your fingertips forward again to do little circles over the wrists. 5 times clockwise. Exploring how deep you can go every time you roll in the circle. And the last circle this side. Now switch direction into anti-clockwise. Make sure your shoulders are stacked directly above the wrists in the starting position. Fingertips should be well spread out. And slowly relax and sit back. Shake your wrists out. Maybe open and close your fingers to release the joints. Take some time and come back into tabletop. We can now work on the cat-cow position. So as you inhale, drop your waist down and lift your head up. Exhale and roll the spine to look towards your navel. For 2, inhale up and exhale. Try to keep your elbows straight. Inhale for 3, look up. We will be doing this 10 times and exhale. Every time you roll up and look up, make sure you're also trying to bend from the upper back and are not getting that curve in the spine entirely from the lower back. So try to get your chest forward through the gateway of your arms. And not just try to bring the lower back towards the floor. Both work together, and that is how we get the activation in the entire spine. Inhale up and exhale. Just a few more left. Last one here. And exhale, come back to a neutral spine position and then push back into child pose. You can widen the knees so you can sink your heart closer to the ground. Take a few moments to relax and reset the spine. You can even open and close your fingers to relax the wrist joint and release any tension there. Slowly rise up again into the tabletop position, and we're going to add some side bend in the cat posture. So we'll bring one leg out and try to look back at the heel, then the other side. Just move your shin out, look at the toes, back to center, and the other side. We have 3 more rounds to do. Try to get as much stretch as you can from the side body. We have 1 more round left. Look to your right, back to center, look to your left. This time we will just look side to side without bringing the shin out. Just 5 more rounds here. We are now trying to activate and warm up the side body, which is also very important for the health of the spine. Just continue doing a few more times. And try to go deeper every time you turn to each side. Make sure your hips are level and not swaying too much on either side. That will take the stretch out of the spine, which is not something that we want for this particular posture. Slowly sit back and relax, and maybe release the wrists out a little bit and prepare for the next position, which is actually a kriya called Sharabha Kriya, in which our movement is carefully coordinated with the breath. We will begin in the tabletop position and extend our right leg out, and if we have the capacity, also the left palm out. Lift the leg off the floor and hold that here for a few moments, and then as you exhale, bring the knees and elbows in together and inhale, lengthen out. Exhale and inhale. We will do this 9 times, and remember that if it is difficult, you can always place both the palms on the floor and just work with bringing the knee in and out. Inhale and stretch, exhale and in, inhale out and exhale, inhale, breathe, exhale, last one, inhale and exhale. Come back to a neutral spine position and prepare to repeat this on the other side. Take your left leg out and then take your right palm out. From here, lift the left foot off the floor, hold for a few moments and then begin. Exhale and inhale. Exhale for 2, lengthen. Exhale for 3, stretch out. Exhale 4, exhale 5, exhale 6, inhale, exhale 7, inhale, exhale 8 and inhale, last one, exhale and inhale and release back to neutral spine. And from there you can move back to child pose and just rest for a few moments. Once you've got your breath back in control, transition into Nikunjasana, which is also known as extended puppy pose, in which extend your arms out and try to bring your chest closer to the floor while your hips are above the knees. If it's difficult to be here, you can also shift forward so that the knees are further back and you can stay slightly above the ground. Choose a variation that works for you and just spend some moments here to open out the upper back. From here, slide forward to lie down on your belly. Place your forehead on the floor and palms gently by the side. Mentally start preparing for Bhujangasana. Bring your palms to the side of your chest. As you inhale, lift up, making sure your neck comes up last. Exhale and go down. Inhale for 2, lift up. Exhale down. Do these very gently. Inhale for 3. We're just trying to warm up the back. Exhale. Inhale for 4. Exhale gently. For the last one, we will hold it up. Inhale for 5, lift up and hold. Keep breathing here, making sure your navel is close to the spine, the backs of your toes are pressing against the floor, and try to lift your kneecaps off the mat. Gently on the next exhale, release and come down to rest in Makarasana, heels pointing towards each other, one palm on top of the other. Take this time to get back in control of your breath. And also mentally prepare for round 2 of Bhujangasana. In this next version, we will not be using your hands for support. Place the palms by the side, inhale and lift the palms off, and then bring the torso off the floor. Exhale and down. Inhale for 2, lift the arms off. Exhale down. Inhale for 3, slowly rise up. Exhale down. Inhale for 4, rise up and hold here. Keep breathing, making sure that your navel is close to the spine to support your lower back, and backs of the feet are pressing against the floor. Slowly, as you exhale, come back down and rest in Makarasana. Make sure you change the hand which is on top every time you take a break in this position. Makarasana is a great posture to reset our breathing pattern. So make use of this time to get back in charge of your breathing and take some nice deep belly breaths here. Slowly prepare for Shalabhasana Kriya with your hands forward and your toes pointing back. We will do alternate hand and leg raises, starting with the right leg and left hand. Inhale up, exhale down, the opposite side, exhale, inhale right leg, exhale, inhale left, exhale. Continue doing this for 10 rounds. This is intense, but this is a really good wake up for the spine, and it also helps us strengthen the back musculature, which protects lower back issues, especially for those who keep sitting on a desk or a chair all day at work. This is a good way to strengthen the back body. And I would recommend this is something that should be done regularly. However, be very careful that you are keeping the navel close to the spine so the core is strong and supporting this back bend. If these exercises or postures are giving you back pain, then mostly the reason is that we are not using the core strength and we're dumping all our weight into the lower back. Continue. Last one on the left side, and release. Rest again in Makarasana, heels towards each other, one hand on top of the other. Slowly prepare for the next posture, which is the Sphinx position. Bring your elbows directly under the shoulders, and this is sort of like a supported cobra or Bhujangasana. Make sure your navel is again close to the spine. Spend some time here trying to activate the upper back and lower back. We will soon switch over to a side. So bring your left elbow a little ahead and roll over so that you are lying entirely on your left leg. You can also straighten out your elbow here and see the entire side body get a very deep stretch. You can also walk the palm closer to the body, and the closer you bring the palm to your hips, the deeper the stretch will become. Stay here for a few breaths. If you feel ready, you can go a little bit deeper. Try to intensify that side stretch. And breathe. You can use your left palm on the floor ahead of you to support yourself. Just a breath or two more. And slowly from here, come back into the Sphinx position. Just take a short moment here to center yourself before we move to the other side. Move your right elbow forward and roll over onto your right leg. Straighten the elbow. And as and when you feel ready, you can move the palm closer to the body. Continue to breathe nice and deep. Maybe go a little bit more higher. This is indeed a very good but a very comforting stretch. Work within your capacity and go only as deep as the body feels like today. Just a few more rounds of deep breathing. And from there, slowly come back to the Sphinx position, to the center. Let the body relax, maybe shake your hips from side to side, and then slowly roll back up into downward facing dog. You can even pedal the feet if needed. Spend some time here. Make sure you're pressing into the palms and the feet and lifting the hips up towards the sky. Try and look at the point between the feet or towards your navel. Slowly step your right foot between the palms and bring your left knee to the floor. You can cushion the feet with a blanket if required and stay here, trying to open up the hip flexor muscles. This is known as Ekapada Prasarana Asana and it's a part of the sun salutation sequence. It is a really good opener for the hip flexor muscles on the front of our thighs. From here, lift your right arm up and point it towards the sky. Your left palm is firmly pressing against the floor to get you into this nice and deep twist. Continue to breathe deeply and hold this for a few moments. Slowly, as you exhale, come back to center and push back into Ardha Hanumanasana or a half split position. There's a deep hamstring stretch. Just take some nice and deep breaths here. You can also use two blocks to hold on to if it's difficult to go all the way down with your palms. Slowly roll forward into Ekapada Prasarana Asana and we're going to add a twisting stretch, a different one. With your right elbow onto your right knee, bring your left hand up and twist to the side. This is a very good stretch to counter the tightness that some of the hip muscles develop due to sitting on a chair all day long. So take this time to release and relax that area and breathe into it. Gently come out of the posture, take your palms back on the floor, take the right leg back into plank and push back into downward facing dog. Breathe here for some moments. Slowly prepare to repeat the sequence on the other side. Bring your left leg between your palms, right knee on the floor and come up into Ekapada Prasarana Asana on the left leg. Breathe here, let the hip flexor muscle open up on the opposite leg. And slowly take your left palm off the floor and point it towards the sky. Your right hand is firmly pressing into the floor, stabilizing the body as you go into this twist. Continue to breathe and hold this position with as much stability as you can introduce. Slowly bring the left palm down. Push back into Ardha Hanumanasana on this side. You can either use blocks or you can keep a slight micro bend in the left knee. Make sure that if your right knee is uncomfortable, you can either fold your mat or use a blanket underneath to make sure it's well supported and comfortable. Slowly roll forward and add the psoas twist on this side. Take your left elbow on the knee and right hand up towards the opposite side. Go as deep as you can and enjoy this really delicious stretch for the side body and also the hip flexor muscles. Slowly transition out, palms on the floor. Take the leg back into plank position. From there, push back into downward facing dog. Take some time to breathe deeply and reset your back. From here, let's prepare for Parshva Balasana or thread the needle position. Take your left arm from underneath your right armpit. Take your right hand up overhead and get into this twisted position while in extended child pose. This is a very nice and relaxing stretch for the shoulder area, especially if you do a lot of typing, use your phone all the time, then this is a good stretch to get into every once in a while. Slowly transition out from this side. Now take your right hand from underneath your left armpit, get your right shoulder on the ground, left hand up overhead, and breathe. This sequence is focusing a lot on the spine as well as side bends and twisting and back bend postures, because they're all really important to release the tension around the lower and upper back that we tend to develop due to our modern day lifestyle of sitting all the time or working on our computers or our mobile phones or long travel. So this is highly beneficial. Come out of this position to sit back in Vajrasana. Raise your hands up and grab your right wrist with your left hand and bend towards your left side. Make sure the elbows are straight and try to pull up to get a nice and deep stretch into the side body. Release the hands down and take them up to bend towards the other side. Continue to breathe. It can be difficult in side bends, but at no point should we stop breathing or make our breathing shallow. Slowly release and add a nice twist. Take your right hand across your left knee, your left hand all the way back, and get into this mild twist position. Twists are really great for the spine, and they're also very good to detox the body. So continue to breathe here and release. Let's repeat this on the other side. Come back to center once you're ready and just shift your hips to one side and get into this Bharadvajasana. It's a modified Bharadvajasana because we're not doing a half lotus. From here, take your right elbow onto the floor and left hand up overhead. Make sure you bend into the side of the foot which is pointing back. There is one foot which is pointing forward, the other which points back, and that is the side we will bend towards to get the deepest, most meaningful stretch. Continue to breathe here. And slowly come back up and release. And let's get into a modified Bharadvajasana, which is a twist, taking our right hand across the left knee, the left palm across the right thigh. If it's difficult to get the left palm on the right leg, you can keep it on the floor to stabilize the spine and straighten yourself. Inhale as you lengthen and exhale as you twist. Slowly release and try to switch direction without using your hands. Just switch your legs to either side, and now let's go into the side bend. Both sides will have different flexibility, so we may not be able to go as deep on one side as we did the other. So if this side your elbow does not reach the ground, that's absolutely fine. Continue to breathe. And as you breathe, you can keep working on trying to get the elbow closer to the floor. Slowly release. And let's add the Bharadvajasana twist. You can also do this twist in a half lotus position or the one as shown here, or you can take the palm at the back on the floor to support yourself if that's not accessible. Continue to breathe. And slowly release and come back to center. Let's move to Ardha Matsyendrasana. We simply take our left leg across the right knee, hug the left leg with the right arm and look towards the back. I'll also show you this position from a different angle. So this is what it looks like. Right knee is bent, left knee is pointing up. You can also get your elbow ahead to get into a deeper twist. Make sure the spine is straight and you're not slouching while you're in this position. Slowly release the twist and move into Gomukhasana position where the knees are stacked one on top of the other. You can roll forward onto your palms and get into a better position. To whichever level it is accessible to you, let's work with that. Get centered and we will add a forward bend. You can also use a block or a bolster if that is easier, and just relax and sink into this position over your knees. Just a few more breaths here. And once you're ready, simply rise up and now bend towards your left side. So sort of like what we did in Bharadwajasana, but we do it with our legs in Gomukhasana position. This can be a deep stretch because the leg on top is pressing against the leg at the bottom, which helps us get a nice stretch against this foundation. Slowly come up and just uncross your legs and cross them in the other direction. So we can do this entire sequence on the other side. If you need to get up, you can get up to stack your knees one on top of the other. First, just get centered here in this neutral position. Take a few deep breaths. And when you feel ready, roll forward into a forward bend. Make sure your hips don't lift off the floor while you're holding this position. Go down only as much as is accessible. You can also use props like a chair or a block or a bolster to support yourself. Just a few moments more and slowly rise up and add that side bend. This time bend towards the right side against the leg, which is at the lower side. All of the stretches that we worked on today are working on different muscle groups which support the spine, and if they become weak or tight, then we get those typical posture related issues like back pain or shoulder pain or neck pain, and these postures hopefully will help address some of the weaknesses and stiffness that we may have created. Let's transition into Ardha Matsyendrasana. Simply lift the top leg off, point it towards the sky and twist. If you feel ready, you can also take your elbow across and get your armpit across the top knee to get into a deeper stretch. Just leverage with that force, but work gently. At no point should we be aggressive with the body. Remember, yoga is about mindfully moving through postures with the breath. Slowly release, come back forward, cross your legs. Whichever leg is on forward does not matter. We will switch sides. And then slowly prepare to roll forward into this modified Yoga Mudrasana. This is one of my favorite stretches and is always very calming and cooling for the body, and something I like to do at the end of the sequence. From here, we'll simply walk towards the right side while staying low so that our chest is over our right knee. Maybe we can come up onto the fingertips of our left hand to intensify the side stretch. Hold it here, and then staying low, let's just scoot to the left side. Again, walk onto the fingertips of the right hand if that's accessible. That makes the stretch a little bit deeper. Breathe. And release and come back to center to give this forward bend one more try. Usually you'll observe that by doing the two side bends, the forward bend becomes a lot more accessible. Slowly come back up and now crisscross your legs in the opposite direction. Whichever leg was going forward goes back, and move back into this modified Yoga Mudrasana on the other side, just so we can equalize the body and we get equal stretch on both sides. Again, you will notice that one leg will feel very different because we're always used to keeping the other leg forward. So it's good to just work on both sides. Brings the body back to balance. Slowly rise up. We will now move into the closing sequence. So lie down on your mat, adjust your position, and when you're ready, pull your right knee into your chest. You can even add some ankle circles here. Just 5 times clockwise and 5 times clockwise, just to release any pressure from them. And once you're done, slowly add a twist. Take your right knee over to the left side, your right arm across, perpendicular to the body, and look towards your right hand. Jatara Parivartanasana, again very therapeutic for the spine and also helpful for digestion. Both Pavan Muktasana and Jatara Parivartana. Slowly release. Let's repeat this on the other side. Bring the left knee into the chest. Add the ankle circles 5 times each direction. Make sure the opposite leg is straight. And once you're done, add in the twist. Take your left leg, drop it to the opposite side, and look towards the direction of your left arm. Slowly release, straighten the leg and grab a block. We're going to move into supported bridge with the Pavan Muktasana variation. So place the block under the sacrum, which is the bony part of the back, and bring the right knee into the chest. Remember, the block is not on the lower back, it's at the sacrum, which is a triangular bone. Release the right leg, bring the left knee into the chest. Do this only if it is comfortable. It's another way to just release the lower back from any compression. Release the leg. Now let's move into supported Sarvangasana or Viparita Karni Mudra by lifting both the feet off the ground and pointing the soles of the feet towards the sky. Stay in this position for at least a minute or two if you have the time, or at least 9 to 12 breaths. It's one of the best inversions that we can practice, and by using a block, it becomes a very mild posture that most of us can do. Slowly release 1 foot at a time. Release the block from underneath and straighten the legs out to move into Shavasana. Remember not to skip this position. It is the most therapeutic part of the yoga practice, and it is when the body gets the time to assimilate all the work that has been done. So stay in it for another 5 minutes if you can. Thank you.